What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Connor.
And I'm Taylor, and this is Diamond in the Rough.
All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, Willy's Wonderland is a Nicolas Cage movie. It came out not too long ago, actually, in 2021. This one is rated TVMA, which is kind of like R.
Yeah, basically rated R.
Yeah. It is about an hour and 28 minutes, and you can currently see this on Hulu,
Mm-hmm.
which is where I watched it.
Yeah.
All right, Connor. Let's get into how you thought the movie was.
So, this is not my favorite Nicolas Cage movie. I'll say that straight up. I think he's had a lot, like, not better performances, but maybe crazier performances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely had some bigger cinematic roles.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Or, just the way that Nicolas Cage is like, his Nicolas Cageisms. You don't really get to see a lot of those because he really doesn't, without going into any spoilers or anything, if you're looking for like a really crazy, like over the top Nick Cage movie, this is not it. Because he doesn't have a lot of speaking lines. He doesn't scream a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he actually doesn't speak a single
at
word.
all. Yeah.
Movie.
Not a single word.
I kind of liked it, to be honest.
Yeah. But so that aside, if you're just looking for a good Nicolas Cage movie, this is definitely it. I mean, he fucking nailed the fact that he can nail being a completely silent person is still like amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's actually not easy to do, you know?
Yeah, it's not. And he fucking, I mean, just his facial expressions and everything were great in this movie. You know, like you could definitely like.
He still gets some Nick Cage moments in this for sure.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely Nick Cage moments, but there's not going to be any like his classic like A B C D, like stuff like that. But
yeah.
But other than that, like it's definitely a Nicolas Cage movie. You can tell he put a lot of Nicolas Cage passion into it, and I really love that for how silly a premise of the movie is. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I wasn't expecting a whole lot, to be honest, but this movie, it actually left me with a smile on my face afterwards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This was a fun movie. It was one of those movies where you just sit down and you have a shit ton of fun because it's just
sure.
You can tell that they put a lot of passion into it, and they obviously took a lot of inspiration from Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, it's for sure. If you can, like, honestly, if you just want a general description of this movie, literally take Five Nights at Freddy's and make it a movie.
Five Nights at Freddy's, plus Nicolas Cage as the guy from Mandy, and that's like this movie. It was fucking great. I had a smile as well when I finished this movie, and this is actually the second time watching this movie. I watched it when it first came out, and I had forgotten a little bit of it. Like some of the best parts of the movie, I realized when I rewatched it. I was like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot that happened." And like they put a huge smile on your face. We'll get into some of those in the spoilers, but what did you think of specifically the like? I always struggle with this. The not prosthetics, but the practical effects. What did you think of those?
That was pretty good overall. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mix of depending on the characters. Obviously, some of them were a lot of costumes, but definitely a lot of practical effects. There wasn't.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I can't remember if there was CG or not. I'm sure there probably was here. And
there was a couple times, and the CG is not like amazing, but I think the costumes, like the costume design and the practical effects, definitely make up for that.
I love the whole atmosphere and the Cage's performance. Honestly, was just
he carried the movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he wasn't there, like this movie would definitely fall very short.
Yeah.
But he lifts it up so well, and
Hmm.
he just plays such a funny, cool character, even though he doesn't say anything.
Yeah,
Just
even though
his
he doesn't say a
actions,
single word. Yeah.
his Nick Cage stares,
Yeah.
and just being a badass the entire time. Super fun.
Yeah, it is super fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. What would you give it as a rating?
Uh, it's kind of hard for me because I
Yeah.
enjoyed it a lot, but like
Mhm.
it's not very deep.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty shallow, and as far as like its premise and everything. But with that being said, I had so much fun with it.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually just going to give this a gold.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this a gold as well. I would have given it a diamond, but there were a couple things we'll go over in the spoilers that I really didn't enjoy certain parts of this movie where uh we'll go in the spoilers, but yeah, it's definitely a gold. It's a must watch Nick Cage movie.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it as well if you are a Nick Cage fan.
Yeah, if you're a Nick Cage fan. If you hate Nick Cage, don't watch this movie.
Yeah, you're not gonna like this.
But yeah, so I think that's it. Other than that, we'll get into the spoiler section.
Yep. All right, Connor, let's get into some spoilers.
All right, so what did you let's just get the negatives out of the way. Is there anything negative about this movie that you didn't enjoy?
So the build up, I guess, the build up for one, like in the beginning of the movie, I wasn't a super fan of. I feel like it because I don't care about these actors and their characters, and it's like trying to set up the story. I don't really care.
Yeah,
I kind of just wanted to get into Nick Cage. In the Wonderland,
Yeah. So that
I
was
felt like it dwelled a little bit too long on that.
I totally agree.
The teenager aspect is expected. Yep. They're stupid, of course.
Yep.
And there's a particular section that kind of focuses on two particular teenagers, and I almost hate this in the fact that it's kind of just linked to horror in general. But the sexual emphasis, I was not a big fan of. I didn't think it needed to be here. It's I don't know, a little distracting, I guess, and just kind of I don't know. I left this kind of like a bad taste.
I really don't get the like. I don't know, man. Like, if they were like adults, like maybe sophomores in college or something, sure. But I really don't understand the whole like high school sex, like
even then.
You know what I mean?
Like in this particular movie, like it doesn't seem necessary.
Yeah,
like I'm not surprised that it's there, but the way that it is, injected in this movie, I don't know. I don't think it needs.
It kind of comes out of left field. Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have been killed off in a different
right. They could have just been doing something else that's just so stupid. And, I wasn't really that big fan of that. Yeah. As far as everything else goes, I think it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
From what I
so yeah, those 2 points that you just pointed out are definitely my two. This is what brought it down from a diamond to a gold for me, because I hated the fucking anybody. Like, I just wanted like any scene where it cuts from fucking Nicolas Cage to these other teenage characters. I didn't enjoy those scenes. I was like, I don't want to fucking watch this. Like,
yeah,
I don't need to see them fucking sitting around their trailer park talking and fucking arguing and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
get back to Nicolas Cage and his like dope ass cleaning montage, and you know what I mean? I'd rather see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, and I was super, of course, I really didn't give a shit about those characters or the story that they were setting up for their like, story arc or whatever. So I was, of course, super excited when all of them got killed. I was very happy. I was like, thank God.
Yeah, like they do what they're ultimately supposed to be, which is just like cannon fodder, basically.
Yeah.
For all the,
Yeah, I just wish it came sooner. Yeah, I just wish that they like had less screen time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have preferred Nick Cage the more screen time.
Yeah. So yeah, basically just a basic spoiler premise for this movie. There's this kid's like kind of like Chuck E. Cheese playground place called Willy's Wonderland. And it used to be run by a guy who's like a serial child killer, and he kind of hires all these other fucking freako
child
killers.
An entire staff full of weird,
like a cult of serial child killers.
Yeah,
and they get found out, but they don't want to be taken alive, so they kill themselves in like a demonic ritual that sends their souls into the animatronics. Willy, who's like a big fox. I don't remember all the names of them, but there's like a crocodile, a fox, ostrich. There's like a fairy lady.
There's a fairy, there's a frog, lady. There's a knight. A weasel is the leader.
Yeah, the weasel. That's right. He's a weasel, not a fox. And I thought the animatronics looked awesome. I thought the first one that comes up, when that fucking ostrich comes up or whatever, I thought that was fucking hilarious, dude. He like just comes up and he's like, whoop. And then Nicolas Cage just turns around and he's like, the fuck? And he like hits him with the broom. He's like smacking him with the broom to see if he'll like move. And then he like does move and he's like, I'm gonna eat your face. And Nicolas Cage is like, bah! And he just like fucking starts beating the shit out of him. I thought that was fucking awesome, dude. I loved all of Nicolas Cage's interactions with the like each individual animatronic. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like he had like a
pretty awesome fatalities.
Yeah, he does. He fucking nails it.
I kind of felt like it was progressively getting less exciting as the show went on, or the movie. Like it started off really, really strong with him killing the animatronics.
Yeah,
and then it he still kills them, but it gets less and less theatrical, I guess. Like less and less intense. There's not like it's not like topping itself. It's not like keeps going. Yeah, it goes down as far as
I kind of like that though. I liked that when one of the teenagers, the main shit girl, I don't remember what her fucking name is. I didn't care, but when she enters the building, Liv. When she comes through the air ducts or whatever and enters the building, I actually enjoyed that Nicolas Cage did not give a shit about her or any of the other kids. Like when they were fighting, so there's this fucking chameleon lady, and she like kills one of the kids. She like kind of tricks him. She's like, I'm not bad. I'm just trapped in this body and I want to get out of here.
I'm just misunderstood.
Yeah, the kid's like, oh, I'll help you. And then she like sticks her long ass chameleon tongue out and like fucking cracks his neck. Yeah, and then Liv comes in. She's like, "Oh my god!" And she turns around. She's like, "I'm about to fucking kill your ass." And then Nicolas Cage is also with her, and he's like, gets in his pose, and then his watch goes off. He looks at it, and he's like, "Oh, all right. Well, here's the knife. See you later." And he just like walks away. I fucking love that. I was so happy that because it was like kind of like he knew that these characters didn't fucking matter. And
this is the thing, right? So in the beginning of the movie. It's in the mid. It's like in this town in the middle of nowhere, and they frequently trick people and like trap them, so they'll sabotage their vehicles. Because I will say, this movie, I don't know who the hell's Camaro SS they borrowed, but they fucking love showing that thing off. And it looked cool,
Yeah, it did. It was cool.
Just driving it.
Yeah.
But they trap him, and they're like, "Oh, we don't have the internet or payphones or any of that stuff, so
you're going to pay cash
it off." So he has to. They give him a job to clean Willy's Wonderland
overnight.
Yeah, if he survives, they'll have his car fixed in the morning, and he can leave.
because it's
And
$1,000 cash, and he doesn't have the cash to pay it.
Yeah, he wanted to use card, but they don't have machines and stuff. So
Yeah.
So the townspeople we'll say the sheriff's department and the towing guy are all doing in this together with the
and the owner, and the owner of the Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, I'm the owner. So they gave him this job, and he's like, "Okay, I'll do it." And the guy told him, he's like, "It's a good idea to pace yourself."
Yeah,
that's what he does. He literally sets a timer on his watch, and every time that thing goes off, that's his break time. He takes like like a 10-minute break or something. He goes into the kitchen.
No matter what is happening, he'll take a 10-minute break,
and he drinks punch. These cans of punch that you see him drink throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, it's hilarious because it's like, good luck.
So anytime shit is going down and his break time happens, he's like, I'm out.
He just
like
stops.
Immediately he stops and he's like, I have to go take a break. And he like it leaves, drinks his punch, and takes his 10-minute break, playing the pinball machine. Yeah. I fucking love those scenes, dude. The fucking
I know, they were so good.
I think that was probably the best dance scene I've ever seen from fucking Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
it was just
like the end of the movie.
And he's like throwing.
It's like the second or last time that he takes his break. Yeah, and he starts dancing to the music and stuff. And it's so funny.
It was so fucking good, dude. Yeah, he's just like getting all into it. He's getting like this high score on the pinball machine, and he's like, and there's like kids dying, like getting fucking mauled and shit.
Yeah,
and
but they're all stupid. So.
Yeah, I mean, of course, and it was good. I mean, I liked the kills. Like, I liked the fucking. Of course, I hated the teenagers, but I enjoyed the kills. I didn't think they were like cheap kills or anything,
No, it was all really good.
Yeah, I thought the
fucking turtle was hilarious.
Yeah, the turtle was hilarious. I thought the turtle was funny. The crocodile was pretty. Crocodile in the vents. I was like, oh shit! And he like fucking just came out. He's like, it's like, oh fuck. You better get the fuck out of those vents, dude. But I thought specifically that fairy lady was actually pretty scary. She like crawled up backwards up the fucking trees and shit.
Yeah,
and, like,
she was a little creepy, and she was like the only character that was it was just like a helmet,
human.
Like it was just a human body for the sake of them being able to move. But she had like a huge, ginormous like mascot head.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. I think they were all pretty cool. I thought but yeah, like you said, basically all three of these people, the sheriff, the towing guy, and the owner of the Willy's Wonderland, kind of made this pact with the animatronics that they will feed them if they would just leave everybody in the town alone.
Leave the town alone.
Yeah, because they would come out at night and eat people that are in the town, like at restaurants and stuff. So
they tried to like demolish it.
Yeah,
shortly after the incident, but
they ate all the construction.
Yeah, they kept killing everybody, so they couldn't, for some reason, do anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't get that either. I was like, just get the fucking bulldozer yourself, dude.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you? I mean, you're sitting in the sheriff lady. There's only one. It's just the sheriff. There's no deputies.
Yeah,
but she calls like backup until like the state highway patrolman guy is like with her doing overtime. And it's like, well, if you could do that, why don't you just fucking call the National Guard and like destroy this building and all of them with it? Come on.
Yeah, apparently they didn't want to look crazy to the outside world. I was like, how are you going to
look crazy when there was a bunch of fucking killers that were working at this place? Come on.
Yeah. Dude. And then the animatronics are like visibly outside killing people at night. Like,
it's not like you were missing evidence.
Yeah.
But I guess just because they're podunk fucking
it's like in a backwoods fucking town in the middle of the South or whatever.
So maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's why Nicolas Cage gets stuck in here. And as the night progresses, it starts off with one animatronic, and then it kind of goes one by one, and then they kind of start teaming up to get him. And then by the end of it, he's killed all the animatronics, and he not only has killed all the animatronics,
basically killed them.
Well, yeah, basically he's done his due diligence against the animatronics, and while he's killed all of them, he's also completely cleaned the entire place.
Yeah, that shit looks immaculate.
Yeah,
which, dude, that there's no way. There's no way that thing is getting that clean. Come on.
Yeah, there's no way. But he fucking nailed it. I mean, what I thought was hilarious was that there was a lot of times where he would clean, like there was one scene where I think it was the second animatronic he fought, the gorilla. He goes into the bathroom, and the bathroom is just a fucking shit show. And he cleans the whole thing like spotless. And then he comes outside because the band, the animatronics are like playing their song randomly. Yeah, so he's like looking at them like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he just like turns off the power so they can't sing anymore. And then he goes back into the bathroom, and someone wrote on the mirror or whatever, "It's your birthday" in blood. Yeah. And he's like fucking irritated. And he's like, "I just fucking cleaned this." And he starts like cleaning it again. And then the gorilla's like, "You want to play hide and seek? I'm gonna make you my little bitch. I'm gonna fucking," and he's like, shit talking him the whole time. Yeah. And all the bathroom stall doors are closed, right? So he starts kicking each one of them open. And then the fucking gorilla comes out of the last one. They have this huge fight and basically like smash the mirror, smash the fucking toilet.
He breaks the fucking sink.
Yeah, breaks the sink. But damn, that fucking kill at the end, I fucking love that shit. Where he just curb stomped him in the fucking next week on the urinal. I was like, dude. That shit's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah,
there's one thing too about this movie is like, because it's all like demonic animatronics.
Yeah,
they don't bleed. They have like oil,
yeah, and like metal parts. So it's just like oil and machinery just getting fucking sprayed everywhere. Like by the time he's done with every fight, he's just completely covered in oil.
Yeah, and everything's fucked again. He has to clean it again.
So then the entire bathroom is completely trashed again, and he has to like re-clean it.
Yeah, and funny enough, you do see him like he finishes cleaning it. It's still got like the shattered mirrors and stuff, but he cleans it up enough.
Yeah, he just puts like tape over the mirrors. And he's like, "That's good. No one can use that one." And then he fucking leaves. Yeah, I thought that was awesome, dude. I love that the entire movie he doesn't say a single word, but his like physical reactions and his facial expressions are so fucking good. Like,
yeah, he does so good stuff too. Like when he's like bashing them in and stuff. Like, you hear him like.
Yeah, when he starts like really getting like bloodthirsty on these guys, you can tell he's like, ah, he's just like fucking just like
punches the fuck out of them.
Yeah. Was there any specific like animatronic scenes or any specific like fight scenes or interactions between Nicolas Cage and the animatronics that you liked? That you can recall?
That I can recall, the two standout ones is the Weasel, because he's like the final boss.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that one a lot. And then the turtle, I just thought was fucking hilarious, because he's the only one that like speaks Spanish. So like he would just be standing there and he'd be like, speak a little bit, and then it'll have like his subtitles. And just the fact that at the end of the movie they're like driving away and he's like all beat up and he's like, "Oh please no!"
And they just run him over.
Yeah, that's fucking funny.
Yeah, those guys were great. I think my two favorites were the ostrich in the beginning and the when he fights the chameleon lady, because he like this fucking chameleon lady fight is so hilarious because they go in to like face off with her and his fucking break time watch goes off and he's like, oh, okay. He gives the Liv, the teenage girl who broke in, he's like, "Here's the knife and goodbye." He fucking leaves and Liv is like standing there, and then the animatronic's like, "What you gonna do now, bitch?" And then and of course animatronic's like beating the shit out of her, right? And he's like, yeah, she stabs it, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Like, doesn't care. And it starts like throwing her around with her, tongue. She's got this long ass chameleon frog tongue or some shit.
Yeah.
And Nicolas Cage is doing his fucking like thing in the back, doing his fucking break time. And then he gets done, comes back, has a hose, and like wraps it around the chameleon's neck and just starts fucking thrashing her around the room. And he's like, "Ah, ah!" And he's just like throwing her into the arcade machines and shit. Yeah. And then he's like, so she's like fucking like fucking, she's not dead, but she's pretty like
almost
knocked out.
Dead. Yeah,
and she's like choking on this thing. He starts like dragging her out of the room, and the lady's like, "You have to help my friends," and he doesn't talk to her or say anything. He's like not paying attention. He's like dragging her to like take her out with the trash. You know what I mean? So, and then they get to the hallway, and the fucking fairy lady and the crocodile dude are standing there, or is it the turtle dude? It's the fairy lady and the turtle dude, and they're both standing there, and they're like ready to fucking take Nicolas Cage on, and he's like, like he's watching her or she's watching Liv because she's talking to him, but he doesn't say anything. And then he like looks over and he's like, and then they're like right there, and he just like gets up, walks over, just like punches one in the face, and then punches the other one in the face, and then just keeps walking. Dude, I thought that was fucking hilarious. He like did not give a shit about them.
No, yeah, he gives zero fucks throughout this movie. Great.
Yeah. That was fucking awesome.
I don't remember which character it was, but he does like a full on fucking predator, like grabs their fucking throat and just rips their spine out.
Yeah, that was the ostrich. That was my favorite one, the fucking ostrich, because his reaction was so good in the beginning when the ostrich is like, the ostrich is like, and he comes up right behind him. He's like staring at him, and then he turns around and he's just like, it hits him on the fucking head with the broom, like, what the fuck are you doing here? And then the ostrich like snaps out of it. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, and then he just breaks the fucking broom in half and just starts beating the shit out of the ostrich. And then at the end, he just like smashes him in the head so much that there's fucking grease and oil everywhere, and he's like, ah! He fucking rips his spine out of his neck. It's like fucking crazy.
Fucking nuts, yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool too. It was like a full-on like cybernetic spine. Like it looked
there's
real.
a lot of detail, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, that part was awesome. I thought.
And then, I thought it was pretty cool for the weasel fights that he like kept the fucking like handle and just like taped it together.
Yeah,
use it as a fucking weapon. And then what was the second thing they was using?
So he put he put the rest of his sodas. Yeah, so he put the rest of the sodas that he put in the fridge into this big sack and just started beating the shit out of the weasel with the sack of soda, which I thought was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, the weasel was definitely the most powerful one because he actually like pick him up and fucking throw him around and shit.
Yeah, and he like kind of fucked him up too. I mean, he like slashed the shit out of him. There's blood coming off of his fucking chest and back and shit.
That was the funny scene where Nick Cage is like on top of the weasel and he's just like bitch laughing.
Yeah. It was fucking man. It was a great movie. I loved pretty much all the fight scenes. It kind of, like you said, slowed down in the middle, but I still think all the fight scenes were well worth it. I think Nicolas Cage really fucking knocked it out of the park with his like.
Oh yeah, I mean throughout the movie, like you're kind of just waiting the whole time
to see Nick Cage fight another one. Yeah, yeah, and I mean they were all great. I loved the scene where I thought it was so fucking hilarious when the sheriff. So the sheriff gets called by the kids because they're like, we're in the fucking Willy's Wonderland and we're dying and it was a mistake. Please come help us. So she and the state trooper go over to Willy's Wonderland to help get the kids out. Obviously, they're too late. All the kids are dead except for Liv. And she has the state trooper cuff or zip tie Nicolas Cage, his hand behind his back. And she's like, this wasn't how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to die. Yes. And she's like, Willy, come get him. He's all yours. This doesn't reflect on us. And then she's like, get out of here. And she fucking makes the teenage girl get out of the building.
Yeah, the state trooper.
So they leave him. Yeah, so they all leave him to die there because they think he's not going to be able to do shit with his hand side behind his back. And then he stands up, and it's the chameleon chick who he had just dragged out of the hallway. She like gets up and unties the rope around her neck, and then the fucking fairy chick comes out, and they're both standing there, and they're like, "You ready to dance?" And then he like,
"You ready for menage a trois?"
Yeah, menage a trois. And then he like fucking kicks the jukebox behind him, and it starts playing heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. And I love how like he fucking skits. It's like his fucking jam. Like he's been listening to this shit like the whole time because he walks up to them and he's just like, yeah, and he starts like getting into it. And heads, shoulders, knees, and toes. He's like, yeah, and he starts like beating the shit out of him with his legs and shit. That was fucking hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
Only Nicolas Cage,
movie, honestly, is super good. Like,
yeah,
I enjoyed a lot of the. I would say like most of it's like kids songs, but it just fits so well with the
it was straight up just like a kid's like country version of Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes, and he was like fucking all into that shit.
Song, actually,
yeah, the birthday song was really cool too. I love the like 1980s kind of like they had the VHS tapes of the thing, and it's all kind of like in this older style, with the animatronics and everything. But yeah, so I thought that That was perfect. That one scene where he's just beating the shit out of them with his hands tied behind his back. I thought that was fucking awesome. Only Nicolas Cage could make head, shoulders, knees, and toes a fucking metal ass song. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Is there anything else you wanted to add?
So at the end, when everything's done and it's morning, they come out and the owner and the tow guy are there. And they have his car and stuff, and he takes it and drives off, whatever. Liv. I will say actually real quick that that aspect with like Liv leaving with him, I didn't quite understand.
Yeah, she was just like, okay, I guess I'm going with you. Like,
so I thought that was a little weird. But
I mean, she better fucking not take it for granted because you're now you live with the fucking coolest dude on the planet. So,
yeah, for sure. And it was pretty funny that the owner and the tow guy, they're like, oh wow, it's finally over. Like, you killed them all.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, let's go get drinks on me. And so they jump in the guy's car. And the fairy lady comes out because she like snuck off and she's like behind them. She's like, thank you for coming, for visiting Willy's Wonderland. I hope you enjoyed your stay. And like lights the fucking car on fire and it just explodes. I thought that shit was fucking funny. Although I wasn't sure if it's like, oh, does that mean that she's dead?
Yeah, I think she
explodes, but it's like,
yeah, I think she killed herself. She was like, fuck you, and like killed herself, you know?
Yeah. And then as they're driving off, they see the fucking beat up turtle.
The turtle.
He's like, oh no, please, senor.
Yeah. No, senor, no. Yeah.
Oh, no more.
Yeah, I love when he like kills the state trooper's driving her back home, and the fucking turtle scene where they stop in the middle of the road because she calls him a murderer because he left Nicolas Cage to die, and he's like, I'm not a murderer. And then the fucking turtle like goes through the window and like slices open his neck, and he's like, and he fucking falls on the ground, and she's like, oh shit, and she grabs the shotgun and goes out, and she's like, give me the fucking car keys. And he's like, yo, good, no problem. And he like picks up the car keys, and then it turns out she has no fucking rounds because he took out the shells somehow. And then and then she's like, fuck you, and she just walks up and starts beating the shit out of him with the shotgun.
Beats the crap out of it. He's like, please don't move.
Yeah. She starts like smashing his balls in, and he's like, oh, my balls, please. And he's like on the ground screaming. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, the turtle was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And then the final shot, I believe, I actually enjoyed it, was the fact that they're driving away and he finally puts on his sunglasses. Thing. Yeah. And he like pops open another can of punch, but it like, instead of right before he's about to drink it, he like looks over, he's like, you know what? You need this more than I do.
Yeah. He's like, get strong. And he like gives it to her. Yeah.
She's like, get cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this, so overall, I thought this movie was fucking awesome. Super fun. Just a fun watch.
Yeah.
I really hope.
I kind of wish the park, I guess it's not really a park. The place itself was like bigger,
more diverse in environment.
Yeah, because
yeah,
by name, like when I heard it, I was like, I'm thinking like a full-on theme park, but it's really just like like you said, kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, it's like a Chuck E. Cheese. Mm-hmm.
So it's a relatively small place, and like there's different rooms and stuff, but I just feel like if it was bigger, it would just allow more immersion for all the different animatronics. Yeah,
I agree. I think there was some pretty cool like set design for specific like rooms, like for specific animatronics, like the fairy land or whatever. That was pretty cool.
Area.
Yeah, but that was kind of like the only one. There was just that and
yeah, because the one where the guy
dies to
who dies to the frog alien lady.
Yeah,
that's like that one is like a normal arcade room, but it's like space themed.
Yeah,
everything else is just like generic.
Yeah, everything else doesn't really. I liked those two. I think I agree with you. I feel like they could have made the set design environments for the rooms like a lot more diverse, because those are the two that really stood out. Everything else was, like you said, samey.
And then it would kind of help, I feel like, once the teenagers enter the area, because then it's like it makes more sense that they're like, one, they're stupid and like, let's split up, gang. But it doesn't feel like, oh, they're just 2 rooms down the hall. Like,
yeah, that's true too. They were really like all kind of right next to each other. They were like one room here, and then they were in the next room over. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's about it.
Yeah, there's nothing really to say. Like, you just have to watch the movie to really get the full.
Yeah, it's wacky.
The full, yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
But, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so definitely, before you come here and watch the spoiler section, go watch the movie. Or if you,
I mean, it's a little late at this point, but
yeah. But if you liked what you heard in the spoiler section, go watch the movie, because it's a million times, it's a million times better than how we describe it. It's fucking awesome. So
yeah, it's definitely a lot cooler than it probably sounds.
Yeah, it sounds kind of like, maybe not cringy, but kind of silly. And it is silly, but it's more awesome than it is silly. It's fucking just a blast to watch.
Yeah, even though this kind of leans into horror, I feel like they could have leaned a little more into that.
Yeah,
but again, if they had a bigger set,
budget,
that would allow them to have be able to do that.
Yeah, I feel like if they were given a bigger budget, I feel like a lot of those things would have been like, they probably would have had like way more environments, a bigger, set design.
But with what they had, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, this is obviously, diamond in the rough, low budget movie.
Yeah.
But it was done really well, and they did the best that they had. You could tell they did the best that they had with their budget. They put a lot into making the costume design and the animatronics look really good.
The budget was literally $5.5 million. So
yeah,
but it was pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, especially when we're talking compared to fucking General Commander, it looks really good.
Oh yeah, please.
You don't get any of that fucking awful cinematography, like bullshit. Like, it's not in 240p.
No,
you don't have these weird fucking looking effects and graphics. Like, it actually looks like a normal movie.
Yeah, it looks like a good movie. Like, it doesn't look like a shitty movie. It looks like a fucking good movie. It sounds like a good movie. The soundtrack's awesome. The sound design is great. The voices for the animatronics are really cool. They did a lot of really good. They put a lot of passion into it. And
costumes are all really good.
Yeah,
they
definitely deserve love.
I had so much fun with this movie. I actually went and watched another movie, which we might do a video on later. It's called Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, okay. I think I've heard of this movie. I've never seen it before, so
yeah,
maybe look forward to our future Jiu-Jitsu
feature video. But
all right,
that also has Nick Cage in it. So
yeah, please go watch this movie. Give it some love. It deserves it. They really put a lot of effort into this. Anything else you want to add before we sign off here?
No, I think that's about it.
All right.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Consider giving us a like if you liked the video.
Yeah, check out our other videos. Links down below in the description for our social media pages as well. And then if you guys have any comments or questions or movie ideas that you want to give us, please comment down below. Let us know
let us know what you thought about this movie.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm really curious to see if this kind of
scratches that itch.
Yeah. A little bit,
Yeah. Let us know how you felt about the movie. And look forward to our next review, possibly Jiu-Jitsu. We don't know. Maybe down the line. And yeah, thank you guys for joining us on Diamond in the Rough. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.